Okay, get ready for this. You don't actually build muscle at the gym. Nope. When you're in the gym, you're just breaking your muscles down. The real growth, that happens when you get home. And I'm going to show you exactly how to build it. And we'll fix the huge mistakes almost everyone is making. So the real secret, the foundation for all of this, it's not about destroying your muscles. It's all about one key concept: mechanical tension. Okay, so what is that? Look, your muscle doesn't need to be torn apart to grow. It just needs to be loaded up. When you stretch a muscle fiber underweight, it kind of deforms. And that deformation is the signal, the little text message to your body that says, hey, build more protein right here. And get this, your muscles are a whopping 40% stronger during the lowering part of a lift. You know, the eccentric phase. That is the single most powerful signal for growth, and it's the one part that almost everybody just rushes through. And that right there leads us straight into the first huge mistake pretty much everyone makes: chasing pain. You know that feeling after a brutal leg day where you can't even sit down without wincing? Well, I've got news for you. That is not a sign of muscle growth. Soreness, or DOMS, is just inflammation. It's basically your body's cleanup crew coming in to deal with the damage. I mean, think about it. A marathon runner is absolutely destroyed after a race, right? But they don't magically get bigger legs from it. So let's look at the actual timeline. Your muscle building, it hits its peak at 24 hours. By 48 hours, it's pretty much back to normal. But your soreness can stick around for 72 hours or even longer. The construction crew has already packed up and gone home. So if that growth window slams shut so fast, what does that mean for how often you train? Well, it leads us right into mistake number 2, using the wrong frequency. Look, it's just simple math. If you train a muscle group just once a week, you get about 2 days of actual growth and 5 days of just waiting. But if you train it twice a week, bam, you get 4 days of growth. You've literally just doubled your results for the week. Remember that construction crew? That's your protein synthesis. They show up, work for about 48 hours, and then they clock out. If you're still waiting around to train again just because you're sore, you're basically just standing on an empty construction site where the work is already done. All right, but here's the kicker. Even if your training is perfect, you can completely sabotage all your hard work with mistake number 3. And this one happens completely outside the gym. It's all about bad recovery. So picture this. You have an amazing workout, you feel great, and then you stay up way too late scrolling on your phone. What does that one single night of bad sleep actually cost you in terms of gains? It absolutely crushes your muscle building potential. Just one bad night of sleep can tank your muscle protein synthesis by 18%. I'm not talking about a week of bad sleep, I'm talking about one single night. And honestly, it gets even worse. There was this study where they took 2 groups of people, put them on the exact same diet. The only thing they changed, one group got a solid 8 hours of sleep, and the other got only 5. The results were just insane. The group that only slept 5 hours lost 60% more muscle and 55% less fat. Just let that sink in. They were losing muscle and holding on to fat, all because they weren't sleeping enough. But here's the thing. Sleep is only half the recovery equation. So you've sent the signal to build, but did you actually order the raw materials? Without enough protein, that construction crew you hired has nothing to build with. Okay, enough with the problems. Let's talk solutions. Here is your brand new protocol for making real, actual growth, and it starts right now. It's just 4 simple steps. First, slow it down. Aim for at least a 3-second count on the lowering part of every single rep. Second, train twice a week. You gotta hit every muscle group 2 times per week. Third, sleep. Getting 7+ hours a night is totally non-negotiable. And fourth, fuel the build. Make sure you're giving your body the protein it's screaming for. And that's the plan. Remember, the gym is just the trigger. The real growth, the magic, it happens in those 48 hours after you leave. Now you know exactly how to master it. So save this. You're gonna need it.